What's going on, people, man? When you come in, please state your name so I can give you guys a shout out, please. Hope everyone's doing well tonight on this Friday, man. Crazy, 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 crazy business. What's going on, man? In the city of dreams, right? That's what they call it. Oh, man. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. Like I said, once again, come through. Shout out to who you are, so I can kind of give you guys a shout out when you guys come through, man. Lou Rosario, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming by. Hope all is well. It's crazy in the Big Apple, man. It's crazy in the Big Apple. Crazy in the Big Apple, man. That boy Randle was off his rocker, man. That's a fact. That boy is that boy is off his rocker, man. Big time. Big time, big time, big time. I mean, where do you begin? Like, where do you begin? I mean, it's so many things. I know a couple people gonna be rolling in here, man. I just, yeah, it's just. I just think for me, I'm just really blown away, especially how well he's been playing. To see him kind of going back and taking a step back, just with his behavior, man. This is insane. And then I think for me the biggest thing is that this is winning time. NBIC, what's going on, man? Peace, man. Peace. I appreciate you coming by, brother. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. I know you're gonna say it's 31. It has nothing to do with 31. It has nothing to do with 31. I can't put it on 31 this time. I really, really can't. You know what I mean? I would love to. Love to kind of get on him. But I can't put it on him, man. I really, really can't. And I know it's easy to do. I know it's easy to kind of put it on the coach and say, like, people should do this, people should do that, right? Hold them accountable, right? It's easy. That's easy for people to say. That's easy. That's easy, to say, like, for a guy like that. But dude, we're all adults, man. Like, he's not 12. You know what I mean? Who's gonna put him on punishment? Like, they're not gonna do that. They're paying a guy over $100 million. Like, there's only but so many things you could say to a guy like that, right? So that's not on 31, right? That's what you call him. It's not on him. It's really, really not. Yeah, like I said, I'm waiting for a couple more people rolling in before I really go in. But we're struggling, man. We're struggling. I think we got 8 games left. This can get real sticky fast. It really can, right? Just kind of seeing exactly how they're playing and what's going on. This could change very fast, man. Quick, right? Just kind of watching and seeing, how they're playing. We could easily be like the number 9 seeded team, right? It could change just like that. We could lose 3 more games and that'd be it. And we done dropped out of we got the play-in. I know you're talking about 31, man. This has nothing to do with 31. Has nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him at all. It doesn't, man. It does not have anything to do with have anything to do with him. It just doesn't, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do know that the head coach does have a say. I understand that, but in today's game, man, with these guys getting so much money, it being player driven, the players really run the show. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. We can sit here and kind of go back and forth about who's what and who. The players really run the show, man. So, what do you got to say? Randall's what? What is he? He's 28, 29? He's almost 30 years old. Making over $100 million. He's probably making more than Tibbs. What can Tibbs actually do to him? Tibbs can't do nothing to the guy, man. He really can't. But I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that. That's why That's why I had to go live today. I mean, not that not that I'm getting better with going live. It's been busy, but I had to go live today, man, just because of what happened last night was just crazy. But but we're reeling. We're reeling, man. We're like punch drunk. Like we're good. We're against the ropes, getting hit with body shots and temple shots. We get knocked all over the ring, man. So we got to find a way to get this back rolling, like we really, really do. Having these couple of days off because I think we got 3 days off. I think we play Monday. We got today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And then we're back Monday. These 3 days off, and I think Brunson will be back Monday, which will be good, right? So I think that'll help us in regards to um, just getting some stability, right? Uh, Getting that feel back, right, into what it is that we do, right? So him coming back Monday and bringing some stability, man, is going to help. Definitely going to help a guy like IQ. I will tell you this though, where I do think 31. Everyone, when I say 31, that's NBIC. That's his way of talking about Thibodeau. It's like giving you heads up there. Talking about Tibbs, where I do think he made a big mistake last night is he didn't play deuce in the second half. I don't know why he didn't do that. That was insane. I have no idea why he didn't play deuce in the second half. Like he saw 6 minutes. Like I don't know why you didn't play him. So that's where he's dropping the ball. Super Agent Argo, man. What's going on, man? Salute, man. Peace. Julius is becoming straight poisonous for the chemistry of the team. Absolutely. His teammates are not respecting him after he went at IQ because of another mental breakdown of his. Absolutely. We're going to get into that. We're definitely going to get into that. That's the main reason why I'm on today. Of course, we're reeling, right, with 3-game winning streak, but I'm going to touch on that. So that's the only reason. The only thing I have with Tibbs, like, I don't know why he didn't play deuce. And another thing, people got to stop talking about play Rose. Like you don't need to play Rose. You got Deuce. Like Rose is done. He's finished. He has nothing left in the tank. You don't want to put him out there, man. He's gonna look bad. He hasn't played in months. Deuce just had a great game in Portland, so he's more sharper. He's more fresher. Play him more. You know what I mean? He could have been a spark last night. You never know. Okay, NBIC, check this out. I compare Randle to Rodman. Poor man Rodman, but still, I got you. Only two coaches could control him, Daly and Jackson, right? A good coach moves players to win. And that's why Rodman never acted up with them. Yeah, I will say this though. I see where you're going with the comparison, but that's not a good comparison, man. You know why? Because Randall won. I mean, Rodman won. That it really had nothing to do with the coaches. That really had to do with the players around, right? Now, granted, Jackson and Daly had a certain way of dealing with him. I understand what you're saying, but it was really about the guys in the locker room, right? And Rodman, he was a star player for what he did, but he wasn't like taking shots, so he was easy to kind of control. Like, you just want him on the boards, getting rebounds and stuff like that. So he was kind of easy to like kind of control, right? He wasn't like that hard to kind of like, because he's just a rebounder, right? So he's a different case than this guy. This guy is different, right? How many times did Rodman make the All-Star team? Anybody check? Did Rodman ever make an All-Star team? If anybody could check for me and let me know. You know what I mean? So that's where they're different. Very simple. I see what you're saying, but Rodman didn't want the ball. Like, you know what I mean? This is Knicks Nation. What up, man? What's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for coming by and checking out my show. I truly do, man. You know what I mean? If you got any positive things to say or negative things to say, let me know, man. Hit me up, DM me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the feedback, man. I'm the type of guy I love positive reinforcement, but I also love the other reinforcement too. I'm from New York, man. I'm from the city. I'm from Harlem, so I have thick skin. So whatever, you know what I mean? I just love feedback that I get from the fans, man. Whatever, to me, it doesn't matter what it is. Positive, negative, it's always room to grow, right? So that's how I feel. So I appreciate you coming by. I truly, truly do. Okay, let me get to Agent Argo. Okay, Tibbs is rotating too late, right? He's not just adjusting to the pace. The opposition is playing games, right? Grimes was on fire and he wasted time before inserting him back in. Yeah, yeah. See, I think he's getting stuck with his own ways of doing things, right? Like every game is different, right? The flow of the game is different. If anybody's ever played before, I played in high school and college, so the flow of the game is different. So you have to be mindful with the flow, right? Because sometimes, let's say perfect example, Obi's going off and Obi's having a great night. You shouldn't automatically say, okay, it's time to get Julius back in. No, 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 no. You let him chill and let Obi rock because Obi's cooking, right? It was the same thing that game with Deuce. I like the fact that he left Deuce and let Deuce finish out the game because he was cooking. So you gotta pay attention to the ebbs and flows of the game. That's basketball. It's never the same game every game. So yeah, you want to stick to your rotation. I get that, but you got to be able to make changes and adjustments based on the temperature of the game and how it's going. Some guys may not have it going a certain night. Some guys may. And then you got to base it off a matchup. So you got to be there to make adjustments on the fly, not just stick to what you know. Because now that makes you rigid, and it shows that you struggle with adjustments, and that's what we can't have in the playoffs, right? And that's to MBIC's point, right? Because he has issues with Tibbs, right? I think Tibbs is okay, but he calls him 31 in the chat. So I'm just saying he's worried about the playoffs. He's worried about Tibbs making adjustments because this has been a struggle for Tibbs. But I think Tibbs will be able to adjust because you have a guy like Johnny Bryant there in his ear, guys to help him. So I think we'll be okay. Okay. And NBIC said Rodman could score. He just didn't. He averaged 20 in college. He said it was easier to score than rebound. Agreed. I just think Rodman was a different type of player, man. Like he didn't need the ball to be in his hands to be like an impact, right? Randle does. Like Randle needs to score to feel like he's contributing. Rodman didn't. You know what I mean? Like he got rebounds. He just dived on the floor. He got steals. He did whatever he could to impact the game. He didn't need to score. And it wasn't that big deal of him because they were winning without him scoring. So why come in and start shooting jump shots when they don't need you to do that? Know your role. That's the biggest thing. There's only one basketball. There he goes, everybody. See? 31 can't do that. That's why he's an assistant coach. Listen, I got you, man. I totally understand. I see the frustration that people have with Tibbs. Like I truly do. But you got to give him credit, man. He's done really, really well, and he has adjusted with playing a lot of these young guys. He truly has. He can be kind of like tough at times, right? In regards to, how can I say, just not really making adjustments on the fly, because he's stuck in his ways. But by having a guy like Johnny Bryant next to him, giving him, feedback or what things he should do, right? That's helping Tibbs. So even though I do think Tibbs is stuck at times, I do believe that he is kind of getting better, but he's getting better because of the assistance that he has, especially with Johnny Bryant right there whispering to him and telling him what's going on, right? The flow, the ebbs and flows of the games, like I talked about earlier. So I do think that Tibbs has gotten better, man. You got to give him credit. You got to give him credit because we were killing Tibbs. Listen, I was one of them, but he's gotten better, man. I mean, he has. I mean, I think a big part is Jalen Brunson, right? Jalen Brunson makes things easier for everybody. As we all know, a lot of times in this league, man, it's not really about what you do; it's the guys that you have. If you got players that can put the ball in the basket, it makes your job easier and it makes you look like a better coach. Remember, guys, people were talking about Phil Jackson. They felt like Phil Jackson was only a good coach because of the players he had. He had Jordan, he had Pippen, and he had Shaq and Kobe. That's the reason why he's like the GOAT, right? Because he had all NBA players on his team. So that's what helped him, right? So that's why they kind of have issues with anointing or saying that Phil Jackson is the guy, right? Because, they feel like, yo, man, you had two of the best players ever, right? So at their position. So come on. Okay, NBIC says he always does well in the regular season, but around this time is when he gets fired. No, agreed. I mean, listen, I can't knock that. I can't knock what you're saying. I can't sit here and try to say that what you're saying is not true. It doesn't hold any weight because it does. That has always been the thing with Tibbs. He struggled in a lot of ways with a lot of teams that he has because he's overplayed them and they're not ready. They're kind of spent, like their bodies are shot by the time the playoffs come. So they don't have enough in the tank to really finish strong uh, in the playoffs, right? So his teams have always kind of like they're like on E, man. You know what I mean? So I do agree with that. I do. But when I my thing is, let's see how he does. Listen, he's got us to the playoffs now, 2 out of the 3 years that he's been here. I mean, we gotta you gotta crawl before you can walk. I mean, I honestly think I think it's a transition that's coming. I think Johnny Bryan is going to be the next in line. He's the associate head coach, so I wouldn't be shocked if Tibbs is maybe here another season, and then Johnny Bryan just takes on takes on. Or I wouldn't even be surprised if the Knicks go decent, go kind of somewhat far this year, and Tibbs steps away after this year. I wouldn't be surprised at that because he's older, man. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if that happens and they give him a job somewhere in the front office or something, which I'm not too crazy about because he tried that in Minnesota and it did not work. But because of his relationship with Leon, they're not going to let him just walk and put him out on the street. That's not going to happen. So I could see like a smooth transition like that, and Johnny Bryan takes over, and then Tibbs kind of puts the blueprint down, and he lets a younger guy who's more in tune to young players today kind of take over. Right. He never listened to Chicago's and never listened to his assistants in Chicago and Minnesota. Right. But this is a different day, man. That was a couple of years ago, right? He got fired from both spots. And he was almost fired from here until he started to listen. So I think he is changing. I think he is adjusting. I think that's why Johnny Bryan is on the bench. And he's the associate head coach. I think I'm just paying attention to the writing on the wall, man. I think that's really what's going on. Just my opinion. Um, Not if we only win one game in the playoffs, right? So listen, man, we got to see, right? This has been a tough stretch, right? The Knicks have kind of they're kind of like it's like we're dragging them across the finish line to get to the playoffs. I have a feeling we're going to either have the fifth or sixth seed. I don't think we're going to get that bad to the seventh because you see the Nets. The Nets are reeling, right? So and they play the Heat tomorrow. So that'll be a good game to watch, right? To see exactly who wins, who loses, because then through that, we'll kind of know exactly what's going on. Then we got the Heat next week, so we can get the Rockets. We can get a game up on whomever, whether it's the Heat or or the Nets, based on Monday. Yes, you're right about absolutely, man. I think that's the whole plan. Anybody comes in, man, please give me a shout out, man. As soon as you get in here, so I'll let you so I can find out if you're in here and I can give you a shout out. Appreciate you guys coming by, man. I truly do. Appreciate the likes. Let's keep them coming, man. But like I said, I'm waiting for a couple more people to get in here. A couple more people I know are coming. Trying to wait for them to get in there before I really kind of chop it up about this Randall thing, man. I gotta get it in because I was embarrassing the other night, man. It really was. It was bad. It was really bad. You know what I mean? Um, Ashley, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by. Waiting for a couple of guys to roll in, my usual guys. What's going on, man? Hope all is well with you. Hope everybody's ready to enjoy the weekend, man. So hopefully it's nice this weekend. NBA said, yeah, the Heat are hungry, man. What they're picking up, right? What veteran teams do. They're right in the mix of it. This is what I'm not surprised that they're doing what they're doing. And perfect. It's not perfect timing. Kyle Lowry's back, right? So this is perfect timing for a playoff push for a team like that. Getting a veteran presence like him, who's won games, he's a champion. He won in Toronto, right? So he's the perfect match to what it is they like to do. They like to defend and score, right? He's a compact guard that can score. Kyle Lowry has always been solid. So he's come back with perfect timing for this playoff push, right? So they're gonna be a tough out. But I think the Knicks can do it, man. We just gotta tighten things up, man, in a lot of different ways, right? Once again, anybody that's here, man, just give a shout out. Give us, you can give a salute. Say what's up. How you doing, LV? Please, so I can know you're here, man. So I can once again give you guys a shout out. So, but yeah, man. And then also too, I was noticing too. Everyone's like was complaining about how RJ played. Like he's gonna have. Listen, man. He's been playing great for the last 6-7 games. For the last couple of games, he's averaging over 21 points a game, I believe. I think he's like averaging like 21 and a half. He had a dud last night. Okay, he didn't play well. All right. Okay. Like everybody's like killing RJ. Like what he had come on, man. He didn't play well. Fine. All right, but he's been playing well for a minute. His numbers have been great. He just had a tough game last night. It happens, man. NBIC, you really can't have 31 and Randle on the same team. It's very toxic. A stubborn goat and a talented head case. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think Tibbs is out of his sorts here, right? I think he's swimming in deep water dealing with this guy. You know, it's a new age athlete, man. These guys are different today. They're cut from a different cloth than what we once were cut from. Like it's a different guy. Guys are overly sensitive. Like it's a different thing. You know what I mean? Nick Nation, what's going on? Last night was a game Barrett should have took over. Now, I totally agree with that. I agree. But listen, man, you're gonna have games sometimes. I mean, I'll give him that because of how well he's been playing these last 6-7 games. I like what he's doing. He's taking smart shots. He's attacking, right? Just last night, he kind of looked out of sorts, right? But it was a crazy night in general, right? A lot of people looked out of sorts, including Randle, right? So now I agree. Like last night, he should have said, okay, this guy's going crazy. Let me grab the bull by his horns and let me kind of take him to take us home, right? So that was a perfect opportunity for RJ to show who he is, right? So I totally agree with that. But because of how he's been playing, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because he has been playing well. And here's the thing: he's had his. No one has struggled more to adjust to Brunson than him because he's a young player. He's got tunnel vision a lot of times, so he thinks score, get my numbers up, get to the All-Star game, right? He hears the whispers, man. He hears the chirping of what Zion was in the draft, John Morant, right? All these guys, excuse me, not all these guys, but two guys that went before him and who were all-stars and who considered like better players in the league. He's heard the chirp, man. He's heard it. No one's had more accolades than him. He had more accolades than John Morant coming out of high school, right? So everybody knew who he was. He went to Duke. Went to Marvard Academy. He was All-American there. He was all everything coming out of high school and going to Duke, right? So we understand that. And so there's a lot of pressure that comes with it. He's still a young guy. People say, oh, that's not true. It is true. If they're giving leeway to Randle because Randle's acting crazy, why can't you give leeway to him for being 22 years old? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But people don't want to say that. But he's been playing well. He has been. But he had a tough night last night. He just didn't have it. Okay. So I'm gonna give him that. I think he'll respond Monday. He'll play better. But guys, he's averaging, what is he averaging for the season? About 19 and a half? He's averaging 20 points a game. Right? So, I mean, his numbers are pretty decent. Knicks Nation are a weird bunch. Most are hood rich, others are stuck on socialism. What? What are you talking about? Listen, man, look. We're like New York City, man. We're like a big jambalaya. Right? Like a big salad, a big pot of gumbo, right? That's what we are, the Knicks Nation, right? So there's many different people. That's just what it is. And that's a representation of the city because that's what the city is, right? RJ got cooked. He got cooked, last night? Hey, man, this is the league, man. It happens. It happens. I mean, I can't, I got to give him leeway to have a tough night. I mean, he's been playing well, man. He has been. I think RJ is being held to such a high standard because he was the number 3 pick. So everyone sees what Zion and John Morant are doing. They're like, yo, RJ should be doing the same, but he's a different player. He doesn't have the athleticism that neither one of them have. He doesn't. So because of that, he's got to be crafty, right? Um, as a scorer, right? So, but he's big. He's big too. So, he takes some adjust. He's taking some adjustment, and I think he's transitioning well with Brunson. But I think that was a transition for him. Like I think it was tough for him with Brunson coming in. Just my opinion. Brunson means so much to this team. Need to get him back healthy. Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. But I think remember, guys, this is his first year running the show. He was coming off the bench with Dallas. So this is his first year. League is no joke, man. 82 games is no joke, and you're playing against top tier competition, night in and night out. You don't get a night off. Perfect example. You see, they played Orlando. Orlando's not a very good team, but look at who they have. They have the Rockets Monday. They're not a good team, but look, they got young athletic players, so you can't, sleep. You just can't. And so the expectation for Brunson was high coming in. He wanted to live up to what he got, but he's not big. He's only 6'2". He's about my height. I'm about 6'2", 6'3". We're about the same height. So he plays bigger than what he is. So he takes a lot of charges. He does a lot of different things. This has been an adjustment for him too. Even though he's playing very, very well, it's a lot of wear and tear he's getting on his body because he's probably never played this much basketball in the NBA ever, right? It's his first time leading the team. He's a starter. So, it's going to be some adjustment for him as well too. How to manage time, how to manage minutes. So he's in a weird space here because he's trying to figure that out, and the injuries are catching up to him. And I think that to me, that's just the issue. I think that's going on with Brunson. So we got to see exactly what how he pans out. I think he'll be ready for Monday, though. I think he'll be ready. Okay. And he has the playoff experience from last year, right? Cook, Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, absolutely. He definitely did. That's what got him the money. That's what put him on the map, how well he did last year, right? So, but he snuck up on people last year. No one expected that. He exploded in the playoffs. He was like all the talk, right? Because he's the one that got them to the Western Conference Finals. No one saw them beating the Suns at all. He was a big part of that. Because he's not just Donovan Mitchell. He was cooking Chris Paul. He was making him look crazy, right? So, once again, no one saw that coming. So now it was the same thing this year. So I think he's once again, I think he's grabbed the bull by the horns and wanted to show the league, listen, this I am. Once again, he's not like 21 years old. Brunson's about 26, 27. So he's been in the league a couple of years. So, his first year starting, kind of feeling what it feels like to play 82 games and be the man. And I think it's kind of caught up to him. But I think he'll be ready. He'll be ready for the playoffs. I also think too with a lot of these guys, a lot of these guys fight through injuries through the year. Like a lot of times they could sit out, but they don't. They kind of take breaks. A lot of players take breaks if they kind of have like a sore foot or something like that. He didn't really do that because a couple of times this year I thought he was hurt and he wound up still playing. So he might be pushing through injuries along with a lot of other guys in this league. Because by this time, guys, let's be honest, by the time this season by the time you get to this point in the season, no one is healthy. Everyone is dealing with bumps and bruises from the regular season. So it's survival of the fittest, man. You know what I mean? Who can get through the finish line unscathed and still prevail, right? So that's the key. Okay, NBA 1C. We are a rich team that loses. We have become accustomed to losing, so any little challenge we think is good, that's not how you win a chip, right? We have to learn how to expect better and become winners. That's a culture change, right? So I agree with you. That's a good point, but that's a culture change, right? I think Brunson has done that. Josh Hart has done that. So it takes a while, man. We've kind of been in the basement of the league for a while, man. So someone's got to come in and kind of change it. And I think this year it's kind of doing that, right? We're becoming a attractive location for a lot of free agents. A lot of people paying attention to what the Knicks are doing. So, people love playing in the Garden. That's the key. So, that's a great thing. I like Brunson, but he is a defensive liability, right? He has to learn how to get through that. I agree, man, but he's only 6'2", man. He's not that big, right? That's number one. He's not fast. He's not super athletic. but he's crafty, right? But once again, no one plays defense in this league. Who? No one plays. Guys are average. Teams are averaging over. No one plays defense. You I mean, so you kind of like say, all right, man, I'll take a couple of guys that can play D, and but the main point in this league today is you got to be able to score the ball, man. Now, if you could lock up and play defense, that's great. But I mean, perfect example, Deuce can lock up, but he don't get no minutes, none, because he can't score the ball. If he could score the ball, then he would get more minutes, right? So that shows you what teams value. Now it's great that you play defense and be a Pat Bev, but those guys are very few and far in between, man. So we know what he was when he came over here. We didn't expect him to be a defensive stopper. We expected him to score the basketball because that's what puts fans, butts in the seats. So that's like the main thing. What we knew what it was with him. Neither was Jay Kidd, but he got through. But he got through it. Defensive win shifts. No, I agree. But remember, Jay Kidd had a couple of pieces around him. Remember, he had Kerry Kittles around him that could play defense. He had a big K Martin in the middle that could play defense, right? So he had a crew with him that he could hide behind, right? Let's remember that. So, yeah, Richard Jefferson. So he had a couple of athletic dudes that he could hide. You know what I mean? So he didn't have to be like a defensive stopper. He can guard the weakest guy. Now, Drew, what's going on, NIB? How you doing? I hope all is well, man. I appreciate you coming by. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Not Drew. NIB. What is NIB? Please elaborate, man. I don't want to get anything wrong or get your name wrong or whatever you're just trying to say. I see 10 people in here, man. I appreciate you guys coming through. Please shout out who you are, man, or just type in something. So let me know so I can give you guys a shout out, man, because I'm about to start cooking on this guy, man, because True. Bro, I love you. Okay. I appreciate the love, man. Let's go Knicks. Once again, anybody comes in here, man, because just give me a shout out. Let me know you're here, man, so I can kind of definitely give you a shout out. Deuce can score, but he needs minutes. He needs to get into the flow of the game. NBIC. I agree. He does need minutes. But I think he had his moment to score and show that he could score before Josh Hart got here. And he was struggling with his shot. So I think that when that happens, man, you only get one chance to make a first impression, man. That's just how it is in this league. It stinks, but that's the truth. And if you're not scoring, that's going to impact minutes for you. It just is, man, because this league is offensive now. It's not the way it once was. You know what I mean? Where they will value a guy like Deuce because he can score, but he's really more of a defensive player. In the 90s, he will be valued, man. But today, you got to be able to score that pill. Even if you struggle at defense, they're okay because you're getting buckets. Like, they're okay with that. Okay, my man, Deuce can score the ball. He has a 1/10. He has 1/10 the time. Right, Grimes has gotten on the ground. Right, Grimes just got acclimated the past few games. Deuce is a logo shooter with a mid-range, better handles, and plus he's a pass first. No, listen, I agree. I see Deuce's potential. I do. But what I'm saying is, okay, number one, Deuce is a smaller guard. He's not. Grimes is 6'4", 6'5". Size matters. As we know, Thibodeau likes big guards. So Deuce can defend. But what I'm saying is, with the time that he had before Josh Hart got here, I don't know how many games it was. He got a lot of minutes. He was struggling with his shot. He was struggling with his offense. He really, really was. And you got to make an impression, especially if you know you're kind of behind the 8 ball and other guys are kind of like ahead of you. You're going to have to do more. That's just the nature of the business. So he didn't really take advantage of that opportunity, in that moment. That's just my opinion. And I think so. That's why when Josh Hart came in, it was easy for them to put Deuce in the back of the bus. Because now if Deuce was coming, okay, let's say Deuce was doing what IQ was doing. You think they wouldn't bench him because he's producing. He's the reason why their record is what it is. But that wasn't what was going on. That wasn't what was happening. That was IQ really producing like that. So now IQ's up for $6 million a year. He's gonna earn himself a whole lot of money this year. But he defends, IQ does, and he scores the ball, man, at a high clip. He does. Deuce doesn't do that. That's just the truth, man. The numbers don't lie. Okay, that's 31's fault. He never gave him a chance. He was in the same situation as Obi. He didn't feel comfortable looking over his shoulder. I agree, man. I agree. I know that feeling, when you're a player and sometimes you feel like you might have a short leash, right? And the coach is going to yank you for any little thing. It stinks, man. I mean, it does. I'm not denying that. But guys, listen. But that's why in this league, people leave and they go to other teams because they realize they're not a good fit. They're not going to be able to get minutes. He's not going to get more minutes over IQ. He's just not. IQ has proven his worth this year. He has because he defends and he can score the ball, man, at a high clip. You know what I mean? But IQ always had a chance. He was never. I agree. But remember too, guys. Remember too. IQ's in his third year, right? Deuce is in his what? His second year, right? Because he was in last year's draft, right? He was a rookie last year, correct? The only reason you're getting fired is because you misspoke and said that Deuce can't shoot. Boss, listen, I'm just being honest with you. Actually, I love the fire, man. I love the smoke. It's okay, man. Trust me. Listen, the numbers don't lie, man. And what I mean, he can't shoot. He's inconsistent. You got to be consistent in this league. That's what matters, and that's what they look at. They look at the numbers. You got to be consistent. You can't have. All right, cool. You got 17 points. In the next game, you only got 5, and you're getting minutes. So you got to produce because this is your only opportunity. So you got to take advantage of those opportunities. You got to kind of you got to force the coach's hand, man, by your play. You just do. He said, "Nah, Drew said, do you be on live TV? Nah, not yet, man. Not yet. Close. Not yet. And 31 didn't. Yeah, he doesn't. Well, that's true. I mean, listen. Tibbs doesn't like to play rookies. That's big. Everyone knows that. He's always had an issue with playing rookies. Remember, with Jimmy Butler's first year, Jimmy Butler didn't get much minutes when he was in Chicago. He didn't. His second year picked up in minutes, but he didn't get much minutes in Chicago. Like he really didn't. So, I do agree with that. With Thibodeau. So we got to kind of see how things pan out with that, right? Yeah. So we got to see. I mean, I see your frustration with that. But I mean, man, listen, it's a lot of issues going on right now. All right, so all right, where do I start? Where do I start with this? In the last 5 games, right? How many explosions has Randle had? Right? In the last 5 games, right? Last 5 games. I want you guys to tell me. You do realize that these millennials, right? You can't treat them all the same way. No, I agree with that. I agree. I mentioned that earlier. These guys are different to that, right? But I'm gonna get into that. The correct statement is that Deuce hasn't shown what he has yet. Okay. Okay. Once again, you only get one chance to make a first impression in this league, man. You just do. It stinks. It's not equal. I get it. But that's the world we live in, man. And sometimes some guys are given more, or some guys are given less. And we're about to talk about one of them right now. RJ technically can't court shoot. What? Okay, right. RJ technically can't shoot. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Okay, on to the elephant in the pod. Okay, so he's got two. You said two? Okay, last game and Miami, right? Then there was another one. Okay, you're missing one. He had the issue with the Clippers, right? Same type of deal, right? So that's three, right? And there's been other instances he just hasn't gotten texts where he's starting to spaz out. You're starting to see him crank up, right? You're starting to see it. Now, he didn't get texts, but he's starting to wild out. Okay, let me just get straight to it. I'm not saying we should trade him. I'm not saying we should get rid of him. If he doesn't do right in these playoffs, right? Then okay, then we got a different discussion. I'm hearing a lot of people say, what is Tibbs gonna say? What are we gonna do? IQ shouldn't have grabbed him because he's upset. How much longer are we gonna make an excuse for bad behavior? How much longer are you gonna sit there and just let him wild out? It's like if anybody's kids here, I have kids. If anybody's a kid, if he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, he's not going to school, or he's not going to doing his homework, or he's disrespecting his mom, you just sit there and say, oh, he's having a rough day. Do you do that? And give him some ice cream and say it's okay? Now, granted, he's making over $100 million. I get it. But this has been going on. This is not just a one-off. It's not. It's happened all last year. All last year. And it started with the debacle in the Atlanta series the year before. Okay, let's go back. That's when it started. When he froze up in those playoffs against the Hawks, he didn't come in right the next season. And it started from there, the downhill spiral. And he's been acting like just crazy, erratic since then. Then last year, if you remember, he came out with a story. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. He came out with a story. I think it was in an Athletic. I'm not sure. Where he talked about dealing with his issues. And he mentioned, Dan Flowers, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But thank you for coming by. He talked about it. He talked about his issues. He mentioned how one time, you guys got to go back and do your homework. He talked about one time how he was at a basketball game. And he saw his son spazzing out on the court. And he said, yo, where is he getting that from? Why is he? And his son's like, yo, but your son's like, yo, I see you do. And it made him look at himself and kind of realize, a little reflection type of deal. Right? This is when I think it was in an Athletic. And he talked about how he realizes he's got to change. Sounds familiar? Right? This happened last year. It was an article that they wrote about it. Now, fast forward. He has a thumbs down. It's a crazy year for him next year. The team says, okay. They bring in Jalen Brunson. So the Knicks did two $100 million contracts last year. They did RJ and they did Brunson. So they bring in Brunson. Then they allow the trainer or whoever this guy is. I don't know if they got him from I don't know where he came from. I don't know if he came from Black Ops with Melo. If he's down over there with Rico Hines. And I don't know who this guy is. He's his trainer. And you see Randle on the sideline, sitting down. Here we go. And all you see is a guy whispering in his ear. I'm like, what is this guy saying to him? What is he putting on? What is he putting him in a trance? Like, what's going on? So then he says, I listen to what people say. Oh, if my mental's right, then I'm good. If your mental is right. Okay. Now, we all go through problems. Everybody's go through problems. Everybody. We all do. So if your mental isn't right, what does that mean? That means you start flipping tables and doing quick, right? Because remember last year, he was knocking out iPads and laptops in people's hands last year at the Lakers game. Maybe he did that to the assistant. Jan Fourier's face. Right? This is vintage him. Remember earlier, I said the kid acts up, the kid is bad, you give him an ice cream cone. You say, it's okay, you pat him on the butt. I know you're upset. Here's an ice cream cone. So should we be surprised of the kid's behavior later? No. You're giving him an ice cream cone every time he's flipping over tables in the house and punching holes in the wall. You give him an ice cream cone. So now, I'm better. My mental's better. Yeah, I got my guy on my bench. I get my mental, my mental. I'm like, okay. What happens when the mental doesn't work? What happens when you have a tough night, you're struggling, and things don't go your way? This is the toughest league in the world. I'm going to say it again. This is the number one league in the world. You're playing against the top basketball players on the planet. There's only 400 slots, and it's all locked in. You're not playing against scrubs every night. Trust me, guys. These guys will come to your rec league and drop 80 on your dudes. These cats are stupid nice. So he's got to get his mental right. Okay, cool. Now Jalen Brunson comes. Jalen Brunson helps him. But you know how Jalen Brunson helps him? He takes the ball out of his hands. He says, no. Give it to me. I'm running the point. I'm running the show. You just run the offense. So now the responsibility's off him. He don't got to worry about nothing. Jalen Brunson starts cooking. He starts making his move, shooting his shots. Bang, Brunson's killing. So now teams are getting adjusted. Like, yo, the Knicks, they got Brunson. Look at Brunson. They forget about Randle. Now Randle can cook. Now Randle's happy. He's got his ice cream cone. Okay, stay with me. Now he's an all-star. We forgot about last year. Last year, everyone, no. Don't worry about last year. He's an all-star again. Everybody's happy in paradise. Everybody's happy. So now, you take the ice cream cone away. Right? Whatever kid wants, Knicks Nation, whatever they want, whatever ice cream cone they want. You take the ice cream cone away. You ready? Jalen Brunson's the ice cream. And what happens to the kid? He starts spiraling out of control, going ape shit, right? You're like, yo, what's wrong with this guy, man? Yo, calm down. Yo, he's not getting calls. He wants to fight the ref. You're like, what are you doing? Everyone's blown away. They're looking for the trainer. They're looking for him. They're saying, yo, come back. Yo, talk to him. Whisper in his ear again. It's not working. Nothing's working. We're back here again. After he done talked about his mental, after he done talked about inathletic, how he's got to do right because his kid is watching him and he's got to do better. Look at all the stuff he said. Look at everything that he said. Everything. I pay attention to everything everybody says, man. Everything. Listen to what he said. I don't listen to what you do. I listen to what you say. And, of course, the actions that follow after. So now he's spazzing out. So us, as fans or regular people, we say, I should have knew it. I should have knew it. I should have knew it. Did he just play me? Did he gas me up and have me thinking that he was better than what he was? That he turned over a new leaf? That's because you took the ice cream away. That's why. So now he's spazzing out. Now he's back to him. Back to who he really is at the core of him. Because when everything's going great, he's happy. No issues. No problems. He's scoring the ball. He's dropping 57. He's happy. He's an all-star. Everything's going great. What judge what do you judge by as a man? What do you judge by? By when you're at the top of the mountain? Or when you're at the bottom and you really got to figure out how to get out that motherfucker to get back on top? That's what judges your character as a person and as a man. When you hit rock bottom and you're struggling to get to where you got to get. Right? So when the sheet get hot and it start cooking, what do? Do you fold up like tissue paper and start fighting everybody? Or do you lock in and your senses get sharper and you get more focused than ever to prevail? Now, once again, listen to the beginning of the story. I started and I said, listen, it all started in Atlanta with the Atlanta series, that debacle. He was never the same. Never the same. And then once this city, as you know how we are in this city, we get on you, man. We get on you crazy. We got on Patrick Ewing. We get on you crazy. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. And so I'm seeing people saying, oh, someone's got to talk to him. Someone's got to do this. What about the coaches? We're all grown men here. Period. If you need someone to come calm you down, like you're 5 years old, we got a problem. You're getting over $100 million. You're on national television. If you need a coach or someone to calm you down, we got an issue. If you need a coach to come all the way from New York, all the way down to Dallas and kind of talk to you because you're having a kumbaya moment again and say, yo, man, would you want to play with you or how you acted last year? No, I wouldn't want to play with myself. So now we're back here again. And we're back here again. You ready, guys? At the keyest moment of the season. This is go time. The playoffs are around the corner. And look what he's pulling. Look what he's pulling. If you guys aren't panicked and not worried, you guys aren't connected to this thing here, man. I gave you the breakdown of the story here and what he's been through and what he's done. So I'm paying attention to the writing on the wall. But you ready? No one has addressed it or had an impact to where he's tightened up and got in line. All they did was give him an ice cream cone. You guys like my story? That's all you did was give him an ice cream cone. Who's ice cream cone? Jalen Brunson. That's all you did for him. So he's the same kid. He's the same guy. He's got a bad attitude. He doesn't know how to act. And all you're doing is giving him things to pacify him. He's not going to get any better. He's not. This is who he is. But here's the problem with that. What I saw last night is I saw the eruption about to come, the eruption that's coming from the volcano. It's spilling over. When he got in IQ's face, for 1 second, I did not see fear in IQ's eyes. I did not see IQ back down. I didn't see IQ look like he was nervous. I did not. I saw a guy that was challenging him, and guys had to put their arm around IQ to tell him to chill. He pushed Josh Hart's arm off. I'm like, nah. You guys got to pay attention to what's going on and what the situation is and how it can trickle down to the rest of the team. The issue with this is just that not that players get upset with calls. This has been going on for the whole league. Everybody knows how bad the officiating is. This ain't just him. The problem is that now it's trickling down into the locker room. That was a little crack. What you saw last night from IQ is a little inkling. You saw through a small lens what's probably going on behind the scenes. Guys are getting tired of his shit. Like real, because you never saw players you saw like Fourier, a couple people, but now you're seeing IQ on the court, mid-court, challenging him, not afraid to back down from this guy. And then you didn't see Thibodeau come out. You saw Johnny Bryant come out to confront him in mid-court. IQ gave a very generic answer. I'll read it for you right now. This is what IQ said. I had it right up here. I'm sorry, guys. I had it, but it went away. Okay, wait. Wait. Sorry. I'll try to bring it up later. So now IQ made a very generic statement, like, listen, everybody wants to win, and that happens sometimes. You know what I mean? Guys want to win, that's just about it. That's all I'm gonna say. But I guarantee you, because I was a player once, I was in locker rooms, guys are getting tired of it. They are. All these guys want to win. All these guys want to win. They realize, and they're paying attention, they're reading the clippings. Trust me, they are, about how good they are. So they know that they got an opportunity here to do something really special in New York. They feel the love that we have for the city. So they understand, like, yo, this is a great opportunity we got here. So you got to pay attention to what's going on, to the writing on the wall. Here's where the Knicks, and I'm speaking of management, the coaches too, they got to be careful. They got to be very, very careful. Because what you don't want, and it might be close. I don't know. I'm not in a locker room. It's all speculation. You don't want a Draymond Green situation where he punched that kid in his face this summer. You don't want that. Because I'm telling you now, this is where that can go. Because no one's checking the guy. He's out of control. He looked like he wanted to punch IQ in the face last night. But IQ didn't back down. So what happens when another guy does that to him and he don't back down? Whether it's in a practice or in a locker room, and for the way this guy acts, it might be on live television. And he hauls off and punches somebody in the face. Now, granted, I know I've been hearing people say this all the time. Oh, guys fight all the time in the locker room. I know this because I've been in the locker room. I've been in quite a few fights. I've seen fights happen in the locker room. Happens a lot with sports. But once again, I'm going to say this again. This is a new generation of kids. This is different. This is very, very different. Draymond Green admitted himself that after that, it's not the same in the locker room. Guys don't really like guys don't really respect him like that now because he did that. See, once you cross the line, that's it. You lose all trust amongst your brotherhood. Because once you start getting physical with cats, that's when dudes just start saying, like, yo, it's too much now. And the Knicks got to pay attention. You never, ever had the mindset of, oh, this would never happen. You never say that. Anything is possible. And what I'm seeing with this guy, and I'm seeing with his behavior, and I'm seeing what he's doing, this is what he's doing on camera. Imagine what he's doing behind the scenes. He might be punching walls in facilities. He might be doing stuff like that. And everybody keeps turning the other cheek. But I saw something happen last night that we didn't see. I saw another player challenge him, get in his face. A younger guy who's obviously tired of this guy's antics. What was Jordan Poole? Jordan Poole's a younger guy to Draymond. And what did Draymond do? He almost knocked that kid's head off because they had words. And he ain't like the fact the kid was running his mouth or saying whatever. Draymond punched him in his face. We all saw the tape. Who was to say that's not going to happen with the Knicks? And then that's it. Then this guy's got to get out of here. He can't stay in that locker room. He can't. Sometimes it starts with a pebble, guys. Sometimes it starts with a pebble for you to pay attention to what's going on. Then a boulder comes and knock you upside your head, say, yo, wake up. I threw a pebble at you for you to pay attention to what's going on. A tiger doesn't change its stripes. It does not. And if you think for 1 second here, everybody in here, if you think that this guy is going to change in the playoffs, you're sadly mistaken. Period. When the playoffs come, it's going to get hotter. The sheet is going to get hotter. They're not going to call any calls for him. What does he do? What does he do? And for me, if I'm looking at this guy as my leader and the guy that's going to carry us or help carry us, I don't know, man. I don't know. We might get bumped in the first round. Word up. We might get bumped in the first round. Dealing with him and whatever antics he's got going on. You got to pay attention to the signs, man. They're there with this guy. He's got some serious, serious issues. Because all it takes is that. And he's off the chain. Like he's like an explosion happened. And to where nobody can control him. And that is a problem. Because when you get to the point, guys, where guys got to control you and they got to console you when you're just uncontrollable, that's not good, man. That's not good in the locker room, and that's not good around people, man, because we don't know what you're capable of doing. Because what that tells me is like you ain't in your right mind. You so mad that you just can't control it. You fight anybody. Because what if IQ would have said something else to him? Would he have hauled off and punched IQ in the face? Would he have done that? Nobody can sit here and say no. That's not that wouldn't happen. Why not? Why not? Listen, man. Why wouldn't he? He's showing he can't control his emotions. He's showing he can't control his anger. He's showing that. So if you think there's not a possibility that he could haul off and punch IQ in his face, just like Draymond did Jordan Poole, you're Sally Mr. You guys don't know basketball. You don't know guys in the court. Guys don't know guys in the rec league. You don't know guys in the regular summer leagues in the city. This stuff happens all the time. And once that happens in that locker room, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be chaos because now no one's going to trust them. And then you're going to see it on the court. You're going to see it on the court. And you're like, yo, the Knicks just don't seem, and you're not going to see nobody really talking to Randle. It's going to be a problem. And then it's going to be issues, man. And that's going to impact us winning. Period. So we all got to be mindful of what the situation is, and don't downplay it. It'll be different if this is one or two situations. That's not the case with this guy. I gave you the rundown starting from Atlanta series 2 years ago. So I'm really, really concerned. I really am. I can't shake it. I'm really, really concerned, man. Because we gotta think who we're turning to help us. This guy is not meant to, like, he ain't there, man. And you gotta think, if things ain't going right for him, look what he turns into. If you're that guy and you're an all-star, you gotta say to yourself, all right, look, man, Brunson is down. All right, they're gonna need me to kind of carry the team tonight, which is cool. So I gotta be able to keep my head. I gotta know who I am and what I am to this team. They need me. This is a brotherhood. I heard Randall say we all love each other and all this other stuff. Okay. So they need you tonight. They really, really do. They need you to keep your head and play smart basketball because your main dog, your top dog ain't there tonight. So we don't need you spazzing out, getting a tech, and doing all this other stuff. That's not, And here's the thing, guys. You can play with emotion. There's nothing wrong with having an edge, but it's got to be controlled. If it's out of control like the Hulk, my man, come on, what are we doing? So I'm just really concerned. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying trade the guy, but we got to figure out something, because whatever we're doing, I don't care how many people talk to him. I don't care how many people we put on the bench to talk to him in his ear and meditate or whatever. How many articles we write? He's the same guy. And I don't know, man. I just don't trust him in a big spot. I don't trust him when the chips are down and things get hot. I do not trust him that he's going to keep his cool. What say you? All right, I'm off my soapbox. Please chime in. I'm going back and read some of these chats people put up on here. Okay. All right, I'm going back here. Dan Flowers, what's going on? Randall is a cancer and he is going to spread it if he's not put in check. But how do you put him in check? Okay. NBIC, okay. Now you see why you have to hold him accountable. That's 31st job. No, it's not. It's not Thibodeau's job, man. He's a professional, man. He's 30, he's almost 30 years old. He got to hold himself accountable, man. It ain't up to Tibbs to tell him to act right. He should know better. You know what I mean? Like, come on. He's not going to bench him. The guy's making over $100 million. He's making all this money. They can't put him on a bench. That's not going to teach him any lessons. It's not. Okay, and the opposing players will take full advantage of this. You saw Jimmy Butler mock him. Absolutely. Because once they see a chink in the armor, they know what to do. And they're going to tell the coaches to do it. Just like Tyronn Lue sent Moot Morris to go over there and get him riled up in the Clippers game. And that's when he threw the chicken wing and threw the elbow. See? Dan Flowers, because Tibbs has tunnel vision. That's why he didn't play McBride, and this is constant with Tibbs. Tibbs has taken the Knicks as far as he can. He can't coach on a timer. NBIC, the only thing that will come out of this is 31 will get the axe. Right. Charles Taylor, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming by. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, sir. There's no new leaf or page with Randall. He is who he is. I agree. And Tibbs is enabling him. That's it. Agreed. Dang, you're a firmest. I only got 11 subscribers. Charles Taylor, I am very worried and concerned about the Knicks entering the playoffs with Randle. Agreed. I feel the same way. That's leadership. NBIC, absolutely. Okay, Knicks Nation. The Cam Reddish comments that Mitchell tweets is adding up. Agreed. The favoritism. That is. Listen, that's just the fact of the matter, man. It is favoritism. King Ribby, what's going on, man? Agreed. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Absolutely. Jay Supreme. Jay Supreme, what's going on, man? How you doing? Appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you for coming by. Knicks need an enforcer on that team like an Oakley or Udonis Haslam that will get in his face and check him when he gets out of line. Absolutely. That's old school. That's old school. They don't have a guy like that. Brunson is the leader. Randle has shown numerous times that he can't handle the pressure. Agreed, Jay Spring. NBIC. That's why I made the reference to Phil Jackson and Chuck Daly. No player does that to a coach that he respects, especially if he wants to win. Yeah, but I agree with that. But this is a new generation of kids, man. Like it's entitled like no other, man. Like it's out of control. Jay Supreme, Poole pushed Draymond first. He should have been prepared to get swung on after that. Nah, listen, man, guys push everybody every time, man. That happens in practice. You push sometimes, that happens. You can't just be swinging and throwing haymakers to try to knock dudes out. That can't happen, man. I agree, NBIC. Okay, okay. Ashley, we might get bumped in the plane. That's what I'm saying. Ashley, you got to worry about that, man. Jay Brunson takes the pressure off him. Now I agree, man. But when Brunson goes down, what does he do? Like he's just King Ribby, RM, Tasmanian Devil that throws temper tantrums. Agreed. AC Canty, what's going on, Ace? I appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But I thank you for coming by. We need you, Udonis Haslam, on this team to check. Yeah, Haslam's old school, man. He's old school. He's an old relic, man. So I do see that. NB1, they should have traded him at the All-Star break. This is the second time that Leon dropped the ball and not pulling the trigger when the stock was high. And I believe he will start getting hurt soon. His stock is still going to be high. He's a two-time All-Star in 3 years. His stock will still be high. So they're not going to move off of that. William, vibes are getting bad. Need wins, man. Absolutely. William, what's going on, man? I appreciate you coming by. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Gravity 241st. What's going on, Peace Fam? I appreciate you coming by. Y'all responded to you also on my show the other night too, baby. If you haven't checked that out, I responded to you. William, Knicks need a Tyson Chandler Oakley that can stop Randle. This guy's a bad habit lesson and role model right to the younger players. Agreed, man. Agreed. You kind of need that enforcer in there. I do agree with that. But these are young guys. These guys are different today, man. I'm sorry. Like I agree with that, but I don't know if they will respond well to that. You know what I mean? And I'm still trying to figure out what are you doing, how you got to handle him, because we need him. Like he's really really good. Like that's just the truth. That's the thing. He's uber talented. I've said this before, but now we got to start questioning a lot of different things, man. You know what I'm saying? You just have to. There may be an Obi sighting. I agree. I agree, man. I mean, but we need wins, right? So what do you do? What do you do? You can't sit him because you need him to get these wins. It's just bad timing, man. It's just bad timing. You know what I mean? Because to everybody's point, people that want to trade him, he could have been pulling this mid-season. Then we could have got off his contract and got somebody else in here. Then boom, boom, whatever. Maybe could have pulled up, maybe like getting a Jaylen Brown or something like that. I don't know. I know I'm reaching, but I'm just saying, right? But he's pulling this off now, like 8 games before the playoffs start. You know what I mean? Like no. NBIC. Like, I agree. Right, he's not a superstar. I'm saying you can get back something. I just threw out Jaylen Brown's name. I know you can't get him. I'm just saying. I commend Quickley for stepping up to try to control the situation, not backing down and running. Agreed. I mentioned that before, man. I mentioned that you just left, man. You just left my whole giving a kid an ice cream connection to us. But I agree. But that's where you're starting to see now. you're starting to see like kind of like the volcanoes kind of like leaking out, man. And it's about to erupt. Like you're starting to see because players are getting tired of it. IQ doing that was a little inkling of what's happening behind the scenes. Players are getting tired of it. They're having conversations with each other when Randall's probably not around. I'm saying like, "Yo, my man is wild out." Like they're probably talking like that. And guys are the misconception that these guys are soft. Nobody's scared of that guy. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to sit down and let that guy disrespect them. They're not going to do that. So what you saw was you saw IQ being a player who's in a tense moment. We're down 8. We're going into halftime. Everyone's frustrated. We can't have you catching a check and making it harder for us to get back into this game. So temperatures are high, man. So he ain't gonna back down because he ain't scared of the guy. What, man? They both went to Kentucky. They both were 5-star recruits. IQ wasn't no scrub, so he's not looking at Randall like he's looking at him like he's an equal. So he's not afraid of the guy. You and this Jaylen Brown. NBIC, what's wrong? You on Jaylen Brown? I'll take Jaylen Brown. Williams said Jaylen Brown's a good option. I agree. Yes, it's going to cause a division in the locker room. Makes me worry about the team. Gravity 241st, man. I wish you'd have came in here 10 minutes earlier, man, because I was just cooking on that. Because that's exactly what's happening. And I was saying, Gravity, that you know what? You don't want this to turn into a Draymond Green situation. That can very much happen. Don't think it can. And then we can't sit back and go, oh, wow, like, how did that happen? We never saw this coming. What? You should have saw this coming. You knew what was going to happen. Look what this guy's doing. You know what I'm saying? So that it's it's just bad timing right now, guys. We're doing our playoff push, and now he wants to start this mess. And here's the thing. Does he have a point? Let's go back to that. He does have a point. He's getting fouled. No one's calling. But he's not the only one in the league that's happening to. Look what happened to Luka Doncic the other night. He even did the Tim Donaghy thing. Well, I don't want to. I mean, I say his name too loud. So, someone, getting something under the table for the game. He even did one of those. So I know he's probably gonna get fined for that. I know they're gonna hit him hard crazy for that. You know what I mean? His pocket. So let's go around the league. Fred VanVleet, they hit his pockets because he's talking about the other guy. Right? So it's going around the league. It just is. So you're not the only one that's experiencing, but no one is acting like they like volatile, like they want to fight on the court, man. Like that. It's just a bad look, man. It just is. It just doesn't look good, especially not before the playoffs. Because now, I guarantee you, teams are watching this. Teams are seeing this. Like someone mentioned earlier, I think it was NBIC. They're taking note of that. They know how good Randall is. Trust me, they know. They know how uber talented he is. So they're saying, yo, man, to get this guy off this game, that's all you got to do is bump him a little bit and get him mad. Then it's going to throw him off his game, and then we got the Knicks. We got him right where we want him. Because if he start cooking and Brunson start cooking, we got a problem. We do. Because they're going to be a tough out. And that's the truth. But he's like too much of a roller coaster, man. And so they're going to look for any little advantage to take advantage of that situation so they can win games in the playoffs. Period. That's just the truth of the matter, guys. Nah, I did. RJ did. I did, man. But it wasn't just RJ, man. It was everybody. You see everybody kind of throwing their head back. You see, I even saw Rick Brunson's dad do it the other night when they was in Miami. I saw him do that then. So Jalen's dad, Rick Brunson, I saw him. He was like, "Oh, come on, man! Like guys are getting tired of this, man." And then the problem is, how many times are you going to say sorry, man? How many times are you going to come back around and say my bad? Like after a while, that my bad and The sorries don't matter anymore, man. You don't even want to hear it no more. You don't want no dap from him, no nothing. You just like, yo, my man, get out my face, man. Because I don't believe you. I don't believe because you're gonna do this again if things don't go your way. Because you're not letting yourself down. Fine, you want to destroy your career and do whatever, then cool. But you're letting the team down. That's this team is bigger than you, man. It ain't the Randle Knicks or New York Randles. Like you think you're bigger than the team. Come on, man. So you're letting everybody down with your behavior because you know how much we need you. You know, because you know you're uber talented. You're not dumb. You know how smart you're a pretty smart guy. You know you're a two-time All-Star. So you know you're the guy. You just scored 57 points overnight. So you know you get busy. You know that. So why are you continuing with this behavior to where it's impacting the team, especially on our playoff push? Like it's not connecting to the guy. He's like perfect example, man. He's like stepping over dollars to get the pennies. Like he's like worried about the little stuff, man. Dogs, this is a bigger thing off the table right now. Period. That's getting to the playoffs, and that's securing our seat. It's not you getting your call. Like what are you talking about? We're all trying to get calls out here, man. We're struggling tonight. We need a win. AC Canty. That's why Tyronn Lue said, I just said that, Ace, after the Clipper game to stop him, get in his head, playing physical. That's what Mook Morris did. And Mook Morris knows because he was with the Knicks. He was there when Randle first got there. He know how to deal with him. He bumped him a little bit. You know what I mean? Get in his head. And then what does he do? He gets mad. He throws a chicken wing at Plumlee, almost hits him in the mouth. And what happens? Then he wants to get mad at the ref because the ref caught him. He wants to fight the ref. Like what? You're gonna get a tech for that, man. You do a chicken wing. You come on. Then you want to argue with Fourier? Like he looked insane, man. And then the scary part is that he goes into these tirades, man, where he like gets physical. Like he starts pushing people and stuff. So one day someone's gonna push him back. And then what's gonna happen? He's gonna throw a punch. I'm telling you, it's just reaction. Because people are gonna get tired. And then he's gonna be out there having a full-on fight with somebody. And you're gonna say, yo, this guy's gotta go, man. This guy's gotta go. He's like out of control. Then Jalen Rose is gonna be sitting down with him on ESPN talking about, you've been suspended from the league for 10 games now. How does that make you feel, Randle? I had to go away and get some help and talking like John Moran. When we same deal. This is just a bad time, man. I'm just worried because you have a lot of young guys on the team who are looking up to him. Brunson, of course, the guys like Josh Hart, right? You're looking up to these guys because you're looking for guidance. You're looking for that because you're trying to find your way in this league. A lot of guys understand that, if I don't play well, I might not be in the league next year. Like these guys understand that. So guys are looking up to him, and he's just not being a good leader and a good role model. And you see, once you take Brunson out the scenario, it's the same team as last year because of him and his antics. Period. And that's scary. Because listen, knock on wood, things happen every day. Brunson could fall down tomorrow and tear his ACL. Like, you know what I mean? Knock on wood. I said knock on wood. So what does that do to this team? And we got an all-star still there. We should still be good, but we're not. We're not if Brunson goes down. Because Randle's going to be Randle. And even though IQ has had a great year this year, he's not ready yet. He needs another year. He's not there just yet. He's close, but he's not ready yet. He's still simmering. He's not ready yet. So that's the scary part about this. Gravity 241st. I thought Randall and Butler was going to fight. One day, Randall's going to get into a fight with somebody. That's what I'm saying, Gravity. I see it coming because what I'm saying is he gets physical. He pushes dudes' arms off and pushes people. He pushes the envelope. And what happens if just by reaction someone pushes him back? Like, yo, don't push me. And then the next reaction is someone's throwing a punch. I don't know if it's him or the other guy, whatever. And that's what happens because people are just trying to like, yo, Randall, chill. He's like, get off me. You know, pushing people and stuff like that. And it can get, yo, listen, man. You guys are from where I'm from in New York City. You know how things can go from 0 to 60 like that. Because someone said something or someone pushed somebody or did whatever. And it's just a simple argument and it turns into a fight just like that because guys get volatile. Because some people have really, really bad tempers. And I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the young guys in that locker room. I'm concerned about the camaraderie, the brotherhood amongst our team, because one of our leaders, who's a head guy, just cannot control himself. Period. Not even she was this bad. I know, man, she would get mad at the rest of him, but he wouldn't be fighting with Duke. Like, she was, come on, man. We could have probably gotten Kuzma for him if this happened in December or January. I want to keep Randall, but not if he jeopardizes winning. We are improved based. We are right. We are improved right based on IQ, Grimes, Deuce, Josh, and iHeart. Agreed. Agreed. I love our guards, man. I love our guards. I love what we have. I really, really do. Including Deuce too. I love what Deuce brings. I really do. I think Deuce is still young. Remember, he's only in his second year. Give him another year, right? I think he needs to develop a little bit more. I think he needs to go back to the summer league too, get some more work in. I think he needs to play a lot of open run with Rico Hines and in the summertime and Black Ops down there in the city with Melo's crew and everybody, where they always get an open gym out there. Uh, I think that that's going to really help Deuce because then when he comes back to camp, he's going to be ready to go. He might look like IQ but better next year. But he's got to get some shots up and get better to where he has more confidence in the shot, taking it to the rack, defending, of course, making decision making with the rock, because then it forces the coach to say, "Yo, we got to give him more minutes. We have to," because other teams are going to recognize what he can do, and then he's going to get big money some other place you can lose him, right? So, and that's why they're going to probably have to pay IQ this year because IQ's already showed that once and the Knicks don't pay him, and IQ goes in the free market next year, he's gone because they're going to pay him top dollar more than what the Knicks are willing to pay him. Gravity 241st. I wonder what his son and wife thinks when he acts crazy like that. Yo, man, I don't, Gravity. I kind of want to stay away from that. You know what I mean? Because I don't, the wife and kids don't have nothing to do with this man. I don't know that man at home. He might be a different person. That's something I don't touch. You know what I mean? Family and all this other stuff. That's something. I don't know, man. I don't know. Deuce will be better than IQ, right? Well, he's got to develop a little bit more though. NBIC. IQ's got an extra year underneath his belt than Deuce. And you see what IQ's doing this year. So Deuce has got to really, really, he's got to be a gym rat this summer. A gym rat. Like he needs to be playing all the open runs from the West Coast to the East Coast, working on his game. So when he comes to camp, he looking like he ready for the finals. You know what I mean? Like he's got to be like that, man. Like for real. King Ribby on man. Why he doesn't act that way when Giannis guard him? I don't know, man. I mean, I don't. What the issue is? I don't see him acting like that with other players. I just see him attacking refs, like just like volatile. Like he's like guys screaming at refs and they say things to refs, but they're not volatile. Like, he's like he like wants to I wouldn't be surprised if a ref was like, "Yo, I'm afraid he might hurt me or hit me or something like that," because he's like that. And then when players try to come in and say, "Yo, man, chill, man, so you don't get a tech," he pushing them off like, "Yo, get out my face, don't touch me." He on that, and you like, "Yo, dog, what? Yo, my man, we on the same team, dog. It's like, chill, you ain't gotta talk to me like that," and that's all it takes. So We could get gotten Kuzma. I don't know, man. I mean, I think Kuzma's gonna wind up getting more money than what Randall's getting. Man. Kuzma's gonna wind up getting about what's he gonna get out there in Washington because they're gonna keep him. He's gonna probably like hit the bank. He gonna wind up getting about 200 something million. They're gonna pay him that. Marcus Morris would have choked him. Yeah, if they would have got on the sideline, yeah, it could have got crazy, man. It depends on the certain type of guys, man, that are on that sideline and with that team. Um, yeah, man. I mean, I just think, man, once again, man, I sound like a broken record. This is bad timing, because we really need to get some wins. Miami is on our heels, heavy, heavy, and they chirping too. They chirping. They talking big talk out there. Jimmy Butler running his mouth, man. Because Jimmy Butler knows I've been here before. This is winning time, so I'm not shook by the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shook by the moment. I know how to win games. So remember, in the bubble, he took him to the Eastern Conference Final. No, I'm bugging. He took him to the finals. They play against the Lakers in the finals. So he went in the finals when Jimmy Butler was there in the bubble. So he's been close. And he knows how to win games. You know what I mean? So he knows, like he's a perennial all-star. He knows what he's doing. And you got Bam, then you got shooters around him. You know what I'm saying? So they're a dangerous team, and they're getting hot at the perfect time. Right? Guys are really zoned and locked in to what they have to do to win games. Period. And so, you got to kind of like be mindful of that. You know what I mean? Like guys understand, like guys who are vets, guys who've been there before, guys who are used to winning, they know it's winning time right now. Like we all got to be on the same page. We can't be arguing with each other. We can't be fighting. We can't be getting crazy texts because you got to understand what's going on. Playoff Jimmy, that's right. NBIC, absolutely. You got to understand what's at stake here, right? We're at a pinnacle point in the season to where we got to pretty much come around and lock in and get some wins and get some dubs. Um, we got to be ready to go. We can't be making bad decisions and getting texts and getting thrown out the game and taking bad shots. Like this is not the time for that because you're a creature. We're creatures of habit. I mean, that's just what it is. So if you do this now, in game game 72, 74 or whatever, you're going to do this in game 82, 83, 84, 85 in the playoffs. You're going to do it then. You're not going to change because you picked up bad habits at the end of the season. And that's what they're doing. But that's all because of him, man. He gets people out of sorts and he kind of throws the rhythm of the team off. He just does because of his antics. Gravity 2 for the first. If we don't get our team together quick, we'll be out in the first round. I said that, man. I said that earlier. We'll be out quick too. Like it'll be like we'll lose like 4-1. Same thing we did with the Hawks. Period. That's why I don't give too much credit for the regular season. That's all about positioning. The playoffs, absolutely, man, absolutely. Just think of NBIC. Just think about when who was it? Trying to remember. Was it Jordan? I forget who it was, but I think Karl Malone won the MVP. And they were saying, yeah, but Jordan got the real MVP. He got the MVP of the finals. See, so the regular season stuff don't matter. It's who wins, man. The MVP of the finals is the real MVP. That regular season stuff don't matter, man. That's just positioning. But at this point in the league, man, it don't really matter who you play because everybody nice. Anybody getting the playoffs, everybody's nice. Period. And you got to beat them 4 times, which is extremely difficult. So, I mean, that's just what it is. So we got to see what's going on, man. We got to see what's going to happen, man. I mean, this is a weird place, man. This is a weird place to be in right now. And we just got to see what happens. We got to see them gather together, and we got to see it. But I really do think that I'm a little worried about this guy. I am. It's not going to change, guys. These 3 days ain't going to change him. He's going to say sorry and go back to being him. But if he don't get no calls Monday and they on him, he going to turn right back to who he is, man. Because that's just who he is. Period. So I don't know, man. So I don't know. So we got to see what's going on. All right, but look, people, I'm about to get up out of here. All right, I appreciate you guys coming by. All right, let's get ready, man. We got a game Monday night against the Rockets, so hopefully we can get back in the winning column. But everybody that came by tonight, I appreciate you guys coming by. I will definitely be back on next week so we can get this rolling, man. But yeah, it's a crazy time, man. But we got to fight through it. We got to get a win. We got to pay attention to what happens tomorrow with the Heat and Brooklyn. See exactly who wins, who loses, and where does that put us as far as as far as 1.5 games up, two games up, or whatever in regards to the Heat or the Nets, right? So we got to see what happens. All right, but let's get ready for Monday night. All right, I appreciate you guys coming by. Enjoy your weekend. All right, I'm LV Live, and I'm out of here, people. Peace.